Well, just for clarify, right? When we signed the agreement for national unity, President Koroma was still in Sierra Leone. When the failed coup attempt happened on November 26th, you know, didn't get any for the way agreement for national unity. So when former President Koroma, become a subject of the that not been get anything for the with the agreement for national unity, and so really it has not been a condition. So if we want to talk about former President Koroma in business, again for be completely separate from the agreement for national unity, again for be separate from the clauses in the agreement for national unity with specific reference to resolution 4. But yes, President Koroma was a subject of investigations in relation to the failed coup attempt on the 26th of November. And as a result of that, he make an appearance before a magistrate after he had been charged, on allegations of involvement in the failed coup attempt on November 26th. But whilst in court, former President Koroma, through in lawyers, they requested he need medical attention with the court being granted. And so a day out of the country on that. That was his application. It was not an application with the state make. He make the application and then the court grants him. Of course, they too believe in separation of powers in the country, right? See, there's an executive and there's a judicial arm. We know who direct the judiciary. We know say each time time for make an appearance, the court can extend the medical leave. And so when you talk about the status of President Koroma, again, for be looked at within all of that context. Yes, he's a subject of investigations. He's a subject of a trial process right now at the magistrate court level, but also they make a request for being granted leave for travel and seek medical attention. We the court grant, so not to the state make the application. They former President Koroma and set the application, and that's not the basis on which they out of the country. Now, as to the details of it, we're asking like for say, when a matter day before the court, you don't get into the details of it. I will just want to make formula. Be assured, say whatever thing happens with President Koroma, former President Koroma in trial, when he's back in court, when he's back in the country, the people will be informed accordingly.
All right.
Clarifications will be made if there's need for me clarifications, but we're not going to do anything in the dark when it comes to the issue relating to former President Koroma.
When I don't succeed for advocates for the owner member, I'll be in various correctional centers, some be out of the country, they're on exile, and the government don't release them to a point that somebody then be don't convict and they serve in jail time. When I don't engage with government, they don't release them, President Bio don't pardon them. We should say, when I don't begin a good talk with President Bio. But the former president, Dr. Earnest Koroma, still they stand trial. They out of the country on medical grounds, although some man believe say they on exile. How una go ensure say una push in case now that una don't begin get the good environment for get conversation there with government? We just don't ask the AG, you don't get in your own side, but from una party, una former leader and a former president of the country, they out there on exile.
Thank you very much, Khadija. Again, President Koroma issue not to one way we self na the party just not neglect. What we have always maintained that they don't express in innocence, and we get for ensure say like for all other citizens, particularly in when you consider whether it don't be to this country and to the party, we ensure say it get fair trial. For make sure say that innocence they proven. That is as far as I go state at the moment, because matter we don't reach to that level, it is very difficult for like come sit on here and just make political statements. So what we can only do is to make sure that we engage at every level that we can for ensure say the judiciary once he return from medical, the judiciary able for expedite and make sure say he gets a fair trial so that the innocence can be proven. We don't know the investigations, we don't know which they get, but he has always maintained that he's innocent, and as a party, we are innocent.
But also in the spirit of national unity, the party they expect say the president forgets a consideration for perhaps make himself just let go of the crimes and move on.
Well, we engage at every level. We pray that day will happen, and we will continue for push where we can. But at the level we did now, we also get for look at the judicial aspect of it, whilst we push the political aspect of it. But whatever I say, I have to be guided. So that's as much as I will say at the moment.
So with unfolding events now with UNA and government, you think say UNA go use them as a stepping stone for intensify UNA advocacy, especially on the matter we get for the former president?
We always will, and whenever the opportunity arises, we always push that matter forward. It is of utmost importance to us. And we feel say, having those two people work together go send a very loud message, and it will keep this country together even stronger. The former and the present, go always stay in the best interest of this country for making the, at least, even if just talking to each other. In fact, now one particular resolution they inside the agreement for national unity, I think is resolution 6. We clearly speak to that, for engagement, between the former president and the current and the leadership of the two parties. Because we feel, say, once we get that one day they happen, the rest of the country go follow suit. Because when they see that cordiality, when they see that cohesiveness among the leadership of the two entities, among, between the former and the current president, I believe say the entire country go there at peace.
What with all we don't happen, you'd see the president Koroma, former president Koroma, and the current president Bio, you see them working together before President Bio in term end. You see that happening?
I mean, there's every possibility for that to happen. When you speak to President Koroma, he will tell you that with all that don't happen, he has nothing absolutely against President Bio or anyone, and he's always open to respond to whatever request he make, whatever it is, whether not advice, whether not for do something, he's always open. There is every possibility that they go happen, but the most important thing, again, for start with that engagement between them two, the dialogue, and then the rest go fall in place.
All right, quickly, Alpha, before you left, I just take a cue from waiting CDI at Uniston say on a particular resolution within inside the agreement of peace and unity, seeing President Bio and that of former President Earnest by Koroma working together. CD don't make and clear say talking to the former president is still open and willing for collaborate with the current president for ensure say they work together and promote the interest of Sierra Leone. You now they sit as the principal advisor to the president. If you get the opportunity for advice President Bio, just like what you do in the case of Alpha Sheriff, will there be a time where you go encourage him or advise him regarding the case within a court for the former president?
The point is that I know we can say on TV or radio waiting at the specific advice we will give to His Excellency the President in relation to former President Koroma. There's one thing that is clear. I provide legal advice to His Excellency the President. So I will always provide updates on the case. I will always provide guidance on waiting the lawsuit, waiting at the judicial process, and waiting at the likely outcome. Now, the whole point is that within the specifics of that advice. I can't say. I also can't say, the specifics of the judicial process itself because it is playing out in court. But I just want to say, yes, in the context of Resolution 6, the Agreement for National Unity, it makes very clear, say, yes, the parties they commit for engineer and the kind of relationships, with the national social political ecosystem, such as between His Excellency the President and former political leaders, as former presidents, vice presidents, the APC and SLPP leadership. You say that not they happen. If anybody tell you say that not they happen, not to let me give you the correct impression. His Excellency the President they relate with the leadership of the opposition a lot, both in Parliament. As well as the political party leadership itself, sometimes you need to see them things there. So na TV, but they have. You see public events, where political party representatives, from the opposition, are present. You see recently at the SLPP National Convention, where the deputy chairperson of the APC, Ambassador Yansane, he a very, very brilliant speech, and talk about the need for make SLPP elections go on well because it's something we APC for replicate, and then it's something we don't for take to the national level. So these engagements are happening a great deal. That I will assure you. So Resolution 6 is being implemented very effectively because that one a continued process is not one of. It's a continued process until we go on and on and on because it's good for make the parties continue for operate together. I mean how that applies to former President Koroma. We'll see. Now I'll make say that former President Koroma did before court, and then they undergo they seek medical attention abroad, not take away in status as former president. That is sacrosanct, it not take away in status. So yes, if there's a need, or when the need arises for making President Dio get a discussion about national issues, they will, irrespective of the criminal justice process will they play out. That will not affect the relationship. Now, of course, within the outcome of this process, I wouldn't tell, when President Koroma, former President Koroma completes a medical and come back to Salon, you will still say yes, and enroll as former president and in the president enroll as head of state, and current president, then we'll relate. They will talk very well because, that is what they're supposed to do.
I ask this question, Alpha, because under your tenure as the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, a lot of things that were been just stalled on the way, especially implementing some of them agreements there, some of them resolution there and the agreements for peace and national unity. They go on now fast. Now I ask the question, if you go use your platform or the time will you get as a legal advisor to the president for advice on the former president a matter?
I will advise the president on the former president in matter. Now, within the specific of the advice, can't really say, but whatever the advices that I provide to the president would be within the ambit of the law.